The United Nations Security Council is scheduled to vote on a resolution that would effectively strip the Strait of Hormuz of Iranian sovereignty and authorize joint military action to reopen the waterway, according to Arab News Online. The vote comes in response to an appeal filed by Bahrain, a Gulf nation that has called on the world body to resolve the growing crisis. Bahrain's appeal requests that the Security Council adopt a resolution authorizing the use of a joint military force to forcibly retake the strait from the hands of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC). The Security Council stated on April 1st that it hopes the vote, scheduled for April 3rd, will yield a positive outcome to protect commercial shipping around the Gulf. The situation has become increasingly urgent as the security situation in the Persian Gulf deteriorates, threatening global trade. The UN's foreign minister, likely a reference to the UN's Secretary General or a senior diplomat, is seeking a joint statement from the Security Council during the vote to approve the release of representatives from Middle Eastern countries. Iran's seizure of the Strait, a catalyst for international opposition. Iran's effective seizure of the Strait of Hormuz, led by what some diplomats refer to as the Islamic State, a likely misnomer for the Islamic Republic of Iran, has further increased international opposition. The URG's control has severely affected the passage of ships and international trade in the region, causing both an economic crisis and a looming global crisis. The UN Security Council will now decide on the legality of Iran's control over the strait, which has effectively fallen into the hands of the Iranian regime. The UK conference and international support for intervention. The Security Council's deliberations come as the United Kingdom has launched a major international conference on the Strait. The conference found broad support for the free and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz. Some of the 40 participating countries have even decided to send troops and weapons to resolve the dispute and retake the strait from Iranian forces. India's assertive stance. Warships deployed. India has taken a particularly assertive position. New Delhi declared that it does not need to ask Iran for permission to transit the strait, citing the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea UNCLOS of 1982. India argued that any country attempting to occupy this international strait and claiming ownership is acting illegally because the Strait of Hormuz, like other international waterways, was not created by the labor of any nation, but by natural phenomena. India further stated that it would take action if Indian ships are attacked. In a major escalation, India has already sent 7 warships to protect Indian tankers passing through the Strait of Hormuz. This move has been met with widespread support from Arab countries, who have backed Bahrain's claim that Iran has illegally seized control of the strait, a key economic and trade artery vital not only to the region but to the entire world. The Asia-Pacific stake. 80% of cargo through Hormuz situation is particularly critical for the Asia-Pacific region, which relies on the Strait of Hormuz for 80% of its cargo shipments. Asian countries, including China, depend on the strait to transport cargo from the Middle East. Any prolonged disruption would have immediate and severe consequences for global supply chains, energy prices, and economic stability. Bahrain's complaint and the Security Council procedural. Bahrain filed a complaint with the UN Security Council last week, but a preliminary committee decided not to refer the complaint to the full Security Council. If Russia and China vote against the resolution during the April 3rd vote, the complaint will have to go through additional hearings at the world's most powerful body, a process that could take weeks or months. Russia's position. Rejecting Gulf claims. Russia has already signaled its rejection of the Gulf states' claims. Moscow issued a statement asserting that the Strait of Hormuz is part of an international shipping lane and that Russia has the right, alongside the current Iranian government, to use the strait. While Russia acknowledges that the strait is international, it opposes any resolution that would authorize the use of force against Iran. Russian diplomats have indicated that they are looking for a broader solution to manage the strait, but they want to first establish the legality of ownership claims. China's silence and strategic calculation. China has not made any official statement ahead of the UN Security Council vote. Beijing remains in a state of silence as the vote approaches. However, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi has previously stated that the Strait of Hormuz issue should be resolved peacefully and should not be used to further aggravate the situation. Wang Yi declared that US aggression has seriously violated international law and must not be allowed to continue. China's silence is likely strategic. Beijing does not want to openly support Iran and alienate Gulf Arab states, but it also does not want to endorse a US-led military intervention that could set a precedent for other international waterways, particularly the Taiwan Strait. The Taiwan Strait precedent, China's unspoken concern behind China's cautious stance lies a deeper strategic interest. China believes the Taiwan Strait is within its sovereign territory and opposes and condemns all countries that use ships, both civilian and military, to pass through the Taiwan Strait without Beijing's permission. China considers such transits a violation of its sovereignty. If the UN Security Council were to declare that the Strait of Hormuz, a waterway similar in geographic and legal character to the Taiwan Strait, is an international shipping lane not subject to exclusive national control, that could undermine China's claims over the Taiwan Strait. Conversely, if the Council upholds Iran's right to control the Strait as part of its territorial waters, that could strengthen China's argument that the Taiwan Strait is also a domestic waterway. This legal and diplomatic tightrope explains Beijing's public silence. The Russian veto threat. Chapter 7 and the use of force. If Russia votes against the resolution, it will not pass. The UN Security Council would then have to examine the UN Charter under Chapter 7, which authorizes the Security Council to take action to maintain or restore international peace and security. The key questions before the Council are whether the Strait of Hormuz is a shipping lane for universal use under international law, whether Iran's seizure of the Strait violates the spirit of UNCLOS 1982, whether the use of force is justified to reopen the Strait. Many diplomats believe that the hearings are likely to change the spirit of the resolution before the vote. For example, the final text may not authorize the use of force to seize the Strait, because Russia and China may not support military action. If Russia faces pressure, it will use its veto power to reject the resolution. The UK conference's alternative. A coalition of the willing. The risk of a Russian veto has not deterred the 40 countries that participated in the UK-led conference. These nations have expressed support for international measures against Iran, and they may use their own warplanes or warships, as India has already done, to secure the Strait unilaterally, outside of a UN mandate. Some diplomats worry that this could become a bad habit, leading to the fragmentation of international law and the emergence of ad hoc coalitions acting without Security Council authorization. Others see it as the only viable option given the likely Russian-Chinese veto. Iran's diplomatic counter. Bringing Oman into the fold. Iran has not remained passive. Deputy Foreign Minister of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Qusum Babdi, stated that the only two countries that have the right to control the Strait of Hormuz are Iran and Oman, because both have coastlines adjacent to the strait. Babdi argued that traffic through the strait must be supervised and coordinated by these two countries. By invoking Oman's shared coastline, Iran is attempting to pull Oman into its diplomatic camp and challenge the UN Security Council's authority. Iran's primary claim remains that its coastline is more extensive than Oman's, giving it primary, if not exclusive, control. Trump's position. The US is not alone. US President Donald Trump has announced that the United States is not alone in this matter, because the Strait's security is not only in America's interest. Trump wants to see the international community and other countries join the US in capturing the Strait of Hormuz to free it from the IRGC. However, Trump has also warned that if the US decides to seize the strait unilaterally, it will have to carefully assess its own interests and the potential costs of controlling the waterway without international backing. Conclusion. A vote with global consequences. The UN Security Council prepares to vote on April 3rd. The world watches. Bahrain's appeal, backed by Arab states and India, faces an uncertain fate. Russia has signaled its opposition. China remains silent, but strategically cautious, and the 40 countries from the UK conference are preparing for possible unilateral action. Iran has dug in, claiming shared sovereignty with Oman and rejecting any outside intervention. The legal questions at the heart of the dispute, whether the Strait of Hormuz is an international waterway or Iranian territorial waters, have profound implications not only for the Gulf, but for every contested strait in the world, including the Taiwan Strait. If the Security Council fails to act, the coalition of the willing may move forward without a mandate, setting a dangerous precedent. If the Council does act, it may face a Russian veto and a Chinese abstention. Either way, the Strait of Hormuz remains a flashpoint, and the world's economy hangs in the balance.